Hey, we're trying this again. Hi there. So if you're on my newsletter list, you have received writing earlier this week entitled An End of an Era. And it is marking a huge transition that I made the choice to make, and that was to let my gym membership of 17 years go. And now being out here in beautiful Boulder, Colorado, to make a shift in my lifestyle. Wouldn't you know, the moment that I made that choice, the next day it was sleeting and it was like 40 degrees out. So I couldn't get outside for a hike or a bike like I had intended to do. And I was a little frustrated because it felt like, I'm not being supported in this choice. But I decided to let it be an opportunity, and the opportunity I took was to do an hour of power yoga and weights in my home. So I did it the first day. The second day, it was still cold, but I was able to get a hike in. Well, today, even though my gym membership was over as of Tuesday, today is the very first day that I had the opportunity to put into motion one of my commitments, and that is to bike first. So let that be my first choice, non-negotiable, and then only use my car if I have to. And I know that this may be an easy choice for many of you out there. For me, it was a big choice. Not because I'm not physical or I don't like riding a bike, but it's just a little intimidating riding around a city, even if a city is biking friendly, and to get to where I'm going and to not put pressures on myself that I have to ride faster. Even I have my trusty rock hopper, you can see there. So I'm even using a trail bike instead of a normal road bike, gift of a former boyfriend and really sweet friend Greg Bodish. And I biked 6.5 miles up into the northeast Boulder quadrant to return a key, and did it. And then I biked back down, and then I swung by Trader Joe's and I got dinner and food in this beautiful little backpack that Sheila Morgan, my dad's wife, got me for Christmas. And I've got Brussels sprouts and zucchini and Irish cheddar cheese. And I'm sitting out here right after my ride in front of this beautiful blooming tree in front of my home that shines into every window. Well, in my blog, now you're going to get my lovely sweaty hair. In my blog, I pointed out 3 tips that I'm using to make this change, because all of us are on the edge of our comfort zone for different reasons. You know, this is the edge of my comfort zone. It may not be yours, but you have other things in your life that are calling you onward, that have been there niggling for you to give attention to, and maybe you think you can't do it. Well, if I could ride 15 miles today to just take care of some errands, then I know that you can do it. And the 3 tips that I'm putting into practice, the first one is appreciation. Appreciation for having a gym membership for so long, for having it available to me, for having the motivation to go 6 days out of the week, for having the money that I could have a gym membership. Appreciation for all of the time that it has served me. And then the second tip I put into practice in making this change and letting it go is realization. And the realization is sticking within what works for me. So I can, especially as an Aries, have a propensity to bite off way more than what I can chew. I'll get these dramatic impulses. I'll be like, oh yes, I'm going to make this huge life change. And on this one, I wanted it to really stick. I really wanted to be faithful. So realizing what I was capable of. And what I'm capable of is making a commitment to some form of exercise that really gets my body going for an hour each day. And giving myself the latitude to decide what that's going to be day by day and how I'm going to fit it in. So realization. And the third tip is celebration. So this Facebook Live is a bit of celebration because I did it today. The weather was perfect. All the elements were perfect. My tires had air in them and could hold the air. And I ran all of those errands. So what is an end of an era for you right now? What is something that you've been wanting to make the change, and yet maybe you've had a little uncertainty or self-doubt, or maybe you have what you think are good rationalizations as to why you're not making that change? Put into motion these 3 tips. Consider what it would be like to offer appreciation for what was, what your choice was. Realization, be realistic about what your choice could be so that you could take steps instead of having to feel pressure to run forward with dramatic success. And then celebrate those little steps. And today I want to leave you with a song you probably know from the Christmas special. I think the Christmas special is Rudolph and Baby New Year, but I can't quite remember. But it's got the giant that lives in the forest, and he's considered very mean, and Kris Kringle, it's the story of Kris Kringle, melts his heart because he shows him kindness, and Kris Kringle lets him know that he can actually change his habits, because the giant feels like he couldn't change, that he's been so cold-hearted for so long that it's just not possible. And if you remember the fun little claymation, Rudolph and, Kris Kringle and a few others, they all kind of start this song walking across the floor, and it goes like this, and I'm singing this to you because this was something that made me laugh today. Put one foot in front of the other, and soon you'll be walking across the floor. Put one foot in front of the other, soon you'll be walking out the door. So I know that sounds silly, but that's all it takes. Put one foot in front of the other, and first you start by walking across the floor, which means you're kind of within a certain parameter, and then all of a sudden, bam, you're out the door and you're flying. And what was 15 miles of biking one day ends up being 60 in just a couple weeks. So this is an end to an era and a beginning of a new one for me, and I offer you all my support for all the ways that change is inviting you on. Have a great day. Mwah.